All right, hello, and welcome to the Furtive Pygmies podcast with me, Chris Touton, and
Eric Thomas, Scrub.
And we are ranking our best bosses and worst bosses in Dark Souls from 1 to 5.
Keep in mind, Chris and I have different criteria as to what constitutes a good boss and a bad boss.
I really tried to make it clear that the criteria was whatever you felt was the best and worst. I don't see why that's complicated.
I went with difficulty of being defeated because, like I said, I am a scrub.
I went with vibes.
Story also played a factor in mine.
Yeah, story and also the way I really went for it was best bosses and worst bosses in Dark Souls is I wanted to look at what did I look forward to fighting and what was I just like, this again.
Sure.
And so that was kind of what I went into it with.
Yep.
So I guess we ranked everything from 1 to 5, both in best and worst. I want to start with worst.
Okay.
So your number, and in this...
Is this honorable mention first or number one first?
Hold on. Well, that was what I was going to say.
Okay,
so the way you rank this from 1 to 5, is number 1 your worst or is number 5 your worst?
Number 1 is my absolute worst.
We want to do that. We want to do that last.
Yes.
Okay, so and we ranked from 1 to 5,
and we had an honorable.
We have
mention.
one honorable mention. So,
so are we starting from the honorable mention?
No, I want to start from your number 5.
Okay.
Your number 5. What is your one of your 5th ranked least worst boss to fight?
Bed of Chaos. Just because there's so little to do and it's boring.
Okay.
I get it.
Why is it boring? You get it.
I get it from a story standpoint, but you just hit his hand and he kind of falls down, and you could die to it in true Dark Souls fashion.
You don't hit his hand at all. You hit 2 chains, and then you hit a little tiny baby in the middle.
Oh, I'm thinking of something different.
Yeah, you're thinking.
I'm thinking of
Manus of the Abyss.
No.
Or are you thinking of the boss in Dark Souls 3?
No.
What are you thinking? You're thinking of Ceaseless Discharge?
I'm thinking of Ceaseless Discharge. That's what it was. Ceaseless is my number 5.
Okay.
Bed of Chaos is the one where you have to fight the trees. And there's that gap in the middle where you roll over. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got confused.
Okay. That was why I pulled up the images.
I'm so furtive.
And stuff. So that's interesting. Ceaseless Discharge, I will say, was my honorable mention for worst bosses. I do think that it is one of the most boring fights.
It is
one of the more boring fights in the game.
Yeah.
There is a way to make it an interesting fight, but it's not the intended kind of progression path. The intended way is just to hide in the hall and have his hand flop down and you smash it. It's bleh.
Yeah.
So I understand that as a number 5 choice. My number 5 choice also comes for worst bosses, also comes from the lava area, and it's the Centipede Demon.
Centipede shows up on my worst list.
Centipede Demon is an unnecessary fight if you know what you're doing, if you're replaying the game. Probably not on a first playthrough, but if you're replaying the game or if you happen to take the Master Key and do a couple of different things, you don't need to fight the Centipede Demon.
It's completely unnecessary.
I also tend to go for the feed humanity into the nice spider lady route. So I kind of skip a good bit of the lava fight. And
her servant is so pleasant.
He's kind of I don't like how he always is.
And when I say pleasant, I mean doesn't attack you on sight. And actually speaks to you.
That's fair. I think that it would be nice if he validated the fact that I dumped 20 humanity into his mistress.
Oh, that's just jealousy.
But he's always so rude when you go there and talk to him.
He's player 8.
Okay, so that was your number 5 worst. What was your number 4 worst?
Sif. Great Wolf Sif, because
Great Wolf Sif.
Okay. The fight itself,
Interesting.
lore wise
Interesting.
and gameplay wise, isn't bad. But every time he starts limping around,
Yeah.
I just
You feel bad?
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I get
can't. That. You know, there is a way to kill him quickly enough to where he doesn't limp around.
Is there?
And there's also a way to like get him behind some level geometry so that he can't physically limp around.
I also know there's a way. If you beat Artorias in the DLC first,
He nods at you.
He nods at you because he acknowledges the scent.
Yes.
Yeah, and that makes it even more devastating.
That makes it so much worse. Yeah, I would never do it in that order to see that. What a terrible thing to do to yourself. And I think this is going to be kind of a copy here. So I'm going to say two things. The first thing I'm going to say is that Sif is my number 3 in best boss fights, much for the same reasons that you laid out. But I made my best bosses more as like vibes based and things that I'm looking forward to in a playthrough. And I think that confronting Sif to get the ring so that you can defeat the 4 kings is such an important like character moment for both your character in Dark Souls and you as a player for like what you're doing, that it's very like it's a touching fight to me. Like Sif is defending the grave of his master. He doesn't necessarily like want to fight you, but he will out of sheer determination. And it's not necessarily like one of the hardest fights in the game. It's not a brutal thing to get through. The run back to Sif is kind of shitty. I think the run back to Sif is one of the more difficult run backs in the game, but I don't think it's necessary that you will do it more than 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So I think it's kind of like a perfect middle ground balance. Yeah. And that's why it's my number 3 on best bosses.
It's a good middle point in the story if you're going that route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I will turn it around on you, and I will say that my number 4 on worst was the Moonlight Butterfly.
See, I had Moonlight Butterfly as number 5 on my best because it's one of those moments you can easily find out in that point of the game where you are fucking up, where you need to roll, where you need to fire a projectile if you're running that kind of build, where you need to stop and pause when the Moonlight Butterfly feeds. It's just one of those great learning experiences, but it's also an optional boss.
I understand all of that.
It was just one of those first playthrough moments.
I do understand all of that, and I do to a certain extent agree. I also think that there is a chance to get to the Moonlight Butterfly without having any ranged attacks. And I know that for a fact because I have done it.
Right.
And when you get to the Moonlight Butterfly and you don't have any ranged attacks, it is perhaps one of the most infuriating fights you can go through. It's slow. It is random whether she decides to land or not. The magic attacks that she does are timed very strangely, and they're hard to dodge. And at this point in the game, the player is not likely to carry defense against that type of attacks.
Sure.
To sufficiently withstand missing 1 or 2 of them without dying or estusing. And I just think that while it has good music and it is an interesting fight,
it's a vibes fight.
It's a vibes fight that doesn't land right. I think when the Moonlight Butterflies show up in the Crystal Craves,
it diminishes it. It diminishes the impact of the initial Moonlight Butterfly.
Yes, it both diminishes the impact of the original one, and it kind of exposes that they're not that dangerous
Well,
because
they
you
do-
can.
They do the same thing with later bosses like Capra Demon and Taurus Demon.
Yes, but
which are also Taurus Demon's also on my list.
Taurus. Okay, well we'll get to that.
We'll get there.
I don't think that. I think there are some cases where showing a boss as a mini boss or as a regular character later is fine. And I do think a couple of the bosses that they do that with do make it fine. I think the Moonlight Butterfly, the way that it's originally presented, is beautiful, but incredibly frustrating for anyone that doesn't have ranged attacks because it can be so random.
Especially when you see the fact that you can just run right past them without fighting them in the Crystal Caves.
Yes, in the Crystal Caves, when they don't attack you at all, it's so much of a kind of like a disconnect, and it feels like that boss
they don't
fight
even
before
register you. You're a
was
scrub.
unnecessary. So that's why it's my number 4 on worst bosses. So let's go to your number 3 worst.
Number 3 worst, Nito.
Nito.
Just because he was a giant pain in the ass, and I didn't know about holy weapons until my second or third playthrough.
Okay. The holy weapons thing is useful, for sure. I agree. I think Nito is fine. I don't have him. I will say I don't have him on either my best or worst list. I think that Nito is very indicative of Dark Souls 2, I feel like, as a boss fight. It is a large boss surrounded by a big group of enemies. And Dark Souls 2 was nothing if not a big group of enemies and like the smash corpses together game.
Sure.
My number 3, same direction, Pinwheel.
Oh, okay. Pinwheel's on the inverse of my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so let me tell you my negative views first. Pinwheel is not a boss. Pinwheel,
Yeah, because it goes back to the same point. When you go further in, there's a bunch of pinwheels before you get to...
No, even before that, the Pinwheel boss fight is bullshit. You walk in, you hit Pinwheel 3 times, and he's dead. Like, yeah, he can make clones, and if he makes a bunch of clones, he can overwhelm you. But so in the case of, like, the Taurus Demon and the Capra Demon, they later become real enemies in Lost Isla instead of bosses.
Yeah.
They felt like bosses when you fought them.
Right.
I don't think Pinwheel ever felt like a boss.
I'll give you that.
Pinwheel always felt like a regular enemy that was given a boss's health bar for no reason.
That's why he made the honorable mention on my approved list.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Because it just gradually ramped up to where you were going to be later in the game. That and he was easy. The first encounter.
Now, I will say, he does give you a mask, and I do like the fact that you get something from fighting him, kind of no matter what.
It's a good introduction to the catacombs, I feel.
Yes. Okay, so your number 2 worst boss.
Number 2 worst? Centipede.
Centipede Demon.
Yeah.
That was my number 5.
Completely unnecessary. Giant pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the only necessary thing in that fight is if you want the lava ring.
Yeah.
Like, the lava ring is...
Which is also completely unnecessary to completing the game.
Technically, yes. Yeah. It's only if you're going in that direction and you're going to do a lot of exploring.
Which I'm not,
in
because
Lost Isla.
I'm always giving 30 humanity to Quelaag's sister.
Okay, and what?
I mean, at least that's what I did in my first and second playthroughs.
So my second worst boss is Capra Demon,
Ah.
and I think Capra Demon.
Is it because of the pairing with the dogs? Because that's a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, basically.
Yeah.
My number one and number two are kind of like vindictive picks.
Sure.
And Capra Demon, when I'm really looking at like what I do and what I don't want to replay, I fucking hate getting the Capra Demon because it's like, oh, this again. Like I got
Every time you make a new character, it's like, I'm going to take Master Key just so we don't have to do this again.
Yeah, well, no, because I'll still do it because there's a completionist. Like it's weird to leave them there.
Sure.
Aspect to it.
I don't share that same sentiment. If I can skip them, I will.
Yeah, I get that. That's to each his own, I guess.
Sure.
That's
the beauty of it.
And then your what is your honorable mention?
My
for
honorable
your worst
mention
boss?
for worst?
Yeah,
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's talk more about gargoyles in a minute.
Yeah. I don't like the
We'll talk more about it in a minute.
Okay.
All right. So your number one worst boss, I'll say mine first.
Okay.
Stray Demon.
Oh, interesting.
The Stray Demon is the demon that you encounter if you come back to the very beginning of the game after being carried by the bird.
Right.
You fall through the floor. Time. And a big issue with my fight is that you take fall damage every single time you fall through the floor at the beginning of the fight. I think that is one of the worst ways. And I will say, I didn't put it on the list. I didn't talk about it when you brought it up. That is also one of my problems with the Nido fight.
Oh, yeah, you do take fall damage at the beginning.
You take fall damage at the beginning of the Nido fight. And I think that they fixed that in later games. But in Dark Souls, there are a couple of boss fights that you have to take fall damage to enter. And I think that is a terrible game design choice. You could literally, like, if a player had low enough health, you could die entering the boss fight. And I don't think that's entirely fair. Or even if it's not fair, it's not enjoyable or pleasant.
What about this has ever been fair?
Oh, there is that. But, so that's my number one. I also think the Stray Demon has a butt attack, like a slam butt attack, that is absolute bullshit. Sure. It's like a force attack that kind of will get you within a certain range. That is after the fall damage, he can kind of do it immediately, and it's one of the worst ways to enter a fight. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of problems with the Stray Demon. I think it was set up to be one of the coolest things because it's literally the Stray Demon is literally the first boss you see if you're paying attention. Right. If you look out that window, it's right there.
Yeah, it's the Silent Demon's redemption arc.
Yeah, and it's just a fat slide, and not only that, but it's the lamest version of that demon because the Asylum Demon comes at you in the beginning, and he's overpowering and scary, and he has a presence.
Yeah,
the Fire Demon has fire. It has the power to breathe flame. It can do fire attack. Like, it has things.
That's why I skip them.
It has, yeah. It's kind of a shitty fight, but like it's there and it has attacks. The Stray Demon is like a piece of garbage that you fell into, and you took damage getting there.
It's in the name.
Yeah,
Stray.
It's the worst, most unnecessary, and you don't even have to fight it. You can just walk around the thing. It's the worst boss. So what is your number one worst boss in Dark Souls?
Just because I'm a scrub, and in terms of difficulty and on how many times it took me to get past it in my first playthrough,
Ornstein and
Smough.
Yeah.
The law offices of Ornstein and Smough. Goddamn the difficulty ramp.
Yes, I agree. I do Look, I hate that fight as much as you do, as you will know. I do think it is integral to the game.
No, it really is. No, I agree with that aspect.
I do not think that Dark Souls would be Dark Souls without Ornstein and Smough. There is something about that difficulty checkpoint that really.
Oh, once you get past it,
you can do anything.
The euphoria. You get the Lord Vessel.
You can do anything. You can teleport. You can go everywhere in the world.
The amazing chest ahead.
Yeah, and you can kill it and see
you can
the truth.
kill it and destroy all illusions of this world. I wish we could all do the same.
All right. I understand.
Moving on.
Everyone understands picking Ornstein and Smough for the worst.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Worst and best. Like,
we're going to go to best.
It's a toss-up. Because, I'm just, in terms of frustration, that's it. That's just it.
I get it.
That's it.
All right, so we're going to best.
Okay.
All right, so we have our 1 through 5. Number 1 is our best of the best. Number 5 is our 5 of the best. Also a honorable mention. So my number 5 best bosses, this is where I put Bell Gargoyles.
Okay.
Okay, so I think Bell Gargoyles, again, much like Ornstein and Smough, mark a good checkpoint for players. It's like, hey, you got this far. It's going to get rough. Can you do this? And I think the fact that you get a lot of help, both with Solaire and with the fact that if you cut off a tail, you get a very strong axe. And you also have the option of getting a helm, gargoyle helm.
I didn't factor in the Solaire help. But you go on.
The Solaire help not only kind of like helps make the boss fight easier, but it also kind of gives you your introduction into the jolly cooperation aspect of the game,
which I love.
It's one of the best parts, and so I think it's kind of like as an introductory, like this is going to be your first intended speed bump.
Yeah. Obligatory shout out to my Brazilian friend who helped me through a majority of like gargoyles and after. Up until about Anne Orlando. My Brazilian friend. I love you.
Okay. Jolly cooperation indeed.
Yeah.
So what's your number 5 on best bosses?
Number 5, Butterfly.
Boo. All right, so why do you love the Butterfly so much?
It is the boss that you and I have fought here the most.
That's true. Because we've played a lot of different versions of Dark Souls on different consoles, and it's one of those that you come across fairly early on.
Yeah. I have a lot of fond memories tied to Butterfly, which is why it gets on the list.
Okay.
If you recall our Dark Souls on Switch episode, we fought Butterfly, and we also fought Andre.
Yes. One of those does not make the list, I don't think, for either.
No, Andre's not on the list.
Poor Andre. Don't you dare go holler. I love Andre so much.
I love him.
All right, so what's your number 4 on best bosses?
Tauros.
Taurus Demon.
Taurus Demon.
Okay, why?
Yeah, he's a good wall to hit when you see multiple enemies firing arrows at you when you have to focus on one enemy. And he's easily cheesable because you can just kick him off a ledge.
Okay.
You can do it. Try it. Give it a shot.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And that's just it, just because he's easy to kill?
Yeah. You can kick him off. That's easy.
My number 4 is Quelaag. And because I think it's another, much like how my number 5 was Bell Gargoyle, I think Quelaag is also like the best possible checkpoint you could have before ringing the next bell. It's got that like shocking compared to what you've seen before up so far in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Like you've seen all this weird stuff. You've seen these monsters. You've seen these zombies. You've seen these like weird blood creatures, and then like topless spider lady. And it's like, what is happening now? But then also like the lava aspect is a difficult thing to navigate. I think that works really well, and it's such a good precursor to what then happens next after you enter like more of Quelaag's lair and the chaos dominion that is Izalith and the below zones. Kind of like how the if you would imagine is like you can't get to Anor Londo without fighting the Iron Golem. You can't get to the rest of the game without getting through Quelaag.
Yeah, and you have to ring that bell. You got to get through Sen's Fortress.
And
gatekeeping is an interesting term you brought up. Because, that's exactly what it is. It's like you have to get good enough.
Yeah, but not in like a
not in a snarky way,
shitty way that
not in the shitty message board way, but in the Miyazaki way.
Yeah. All right, what's your number 3?
Number 3 worst. Number 3 best.
Number 3 best.
Gwyn.
Okay, we'll hold off on that for just a minute because my number 3 best is Sif. And I do want to say, like,
are you going for lore reasons like you did before? Because
no. So Sif is both. So Sif is like equal lore and vibes reasons.
Okay.
Sif's fight is such a like for the player when you've gotten to this point. And you can get to this point early. This is one of the earliest points you can get to. So you can do this. I feel like this is an interesting thing because you can do this while knowing the impact of what you're doing, and you can do this without knowing the impact of what you're doing. But you know, or you don't know, that there are these lords that you need to kill and these souls that you need to get. The 4 kings being one of those. And you know or you don't know that one of the ways to get to that is to go to the Abyss, and you know or you don't know that one of the ways to do that is to follow the path of Artorias. And the only way to do that is to go to his grave, and the thing that's guarding his grave is his giant dog. It's very interesting to me that it allows you to do it. This is the 4 Kings is one of the only, it is the only of the 4 Lord Souls that you can get before getting the Lord Vessel. You can do all of that first. And if you do all of that first, then what's his name? Kaf, the evil snake, shows up.
The opposite of Frampt.
Yeah, in the Abyss and talks to you.
Yeah.
And it's such an interesting thing that the game allows you to do.
It is an interesting dynamic
the
between
fact
Koth and Frampt. Yeah, you have two like you have an angel and a devil whispering in your ear.
Yeah, but they're both snakes, and
they're both snakes. Exactly,
but one snake is upside down to indicate that he is the evil one.
You sorry fool.
He looks slightly less weird with his giant human-sized teeth. I think, in kind of what you said earlier about the fact that he limps as you fight him, the fact that he nods, that you acknowledge him if you do the stuff with Artorias in the DLC, like, I think it's one of the most well thought out, well-rounded.
It really is.
It's the closest Dark Souls gets to immersion in a character, and it's not something that it like Dark Souls is for all that we love it for everything else, it is an action game, and you are like kind of playing it separately. When you fight Sif, you feel it,
You absolutely do.
and that's rough, and that's why I like it.
And they don't replicate it in Elden Ring where you fight the Red Wolf of Radagon.
Exactly,
And they
it
could
does.
have.
They could have, and they didn't. And I have other things to say about that. And we'll get to Elden Ring in 300 episodes. So I do want to go on here because you said your number 3 was Gwen. My number 2 is Gwen.
Oh.
So why is Gwen your number 3?
I gotta be honest with you, and I gotta level with you,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone.
I don't know how to parry. I've never parried in Dark Souls.
That's not true. Gwen made it on this list exclusively because of parrying.
Exactly. That's why it's my number 2.
That's why he's my number 3.
Okay.
I went as far as best encounters.
Mm-hmm.
The ones I can cheese the most are the ones that made the list,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay. That's fine.
That's it.
I told you for whatever reason you consider your best. Is that it? Is that all you have to say? You
Yep.
can cheese it the most?
I can cheese them.
Nothing
I can cheese the final boss of the game. Oh,
Nothing about
I
the
mean,
music or,
okay, so,
or the thematic.
if we're going with
the fact
music,
that we're
if
going
we're
through like Ash or like the Black Knight. The
no,
Silver
if we're going
Knights
through the
and-
killing of the first flame, it moves
yeah.
up. If we're going with
Sure.
music, it moves up because the plin plin plon is iconic.
Plum plum plon.
Blim blim blun, blim blim blun, blim blum. Killing of the first flame. Come on now, the music. It's good
Okay.
music.
Okay. Sure.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, blim blim blim. It's awesome.
Now keep
But,
doing
but,
it. I
but,
can use
but,
this
but,
later.
but we're not going with musical.
You can go with whatever you want. It's a free list.
Yeah, I mean you're right.
It's free.
But-
It's free country.
No, I'm going with
Theoretically.
cheeseability.
Right.
That's why Ornstein and Smo is at the top of my worst list.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Gwen's my number 2 because Gwen is one of just like, again, I went through the entirety of Dark Souls 1 without parrying.
Wow.
I never parried, did not entirely understand how it worked. Figured it out eventually in later games, but did not. And so everyone is like, "Oh, Gwen's so easy. This is the easiest boss fight ever." I was like, "What the
Are you fucking serious?
fuck are y'all?" This man attacks 6 times in a row, and my shield cannot withstand this, nor can my stamina. And so the first time I fought Gwen, it was a hell of a thing. I have since learned how to parry. Gwen is much easier these days. But that first time, it felt to me like the boss of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but the music was so good,
Awesome.
and the run back, while a little bit too long, had so many like easy fights where you could get souls,
Yeah.
like a good number of souls that you were able to level up, and they they gave you a route to succeed at the end, and I appreciated
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Would you say your number 2 was?
Iron Golem.
I'm sorry. What?
I said Iron Golem.
Your number 2
Cheese
best. Your number 2 best boss in Dark Souls is Iron Golem.
You are forgetting that one of my main factors is cheesability.
I must be, because what a boring ass fight.
Yeah, it's easily cheesable.
Okay.
And it's the gateway to Anor Londo.
It is the gateway to Anor Londo. We did talk about that. We talked about how it was one of the most fun. Yeah. Sure.
And the lead up to it, right after Sen's Fortress, is a lot of fun.
That's true.
You get the giants throwing the boulders, you get the merchant right before, you get the guy you can summon right before the fight.
What merchant?
Okay, if you're going out of Sen's Fortress and you take a left and you can jump over the gap.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But you meant like in Sin's Fortress.
No, not in.
I was like, there's a merchant in
No,
Sin's Fortress?
No.
Have I missed something all these years?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we're so I think you've already said this, but I forget what it was. What was your honorable mention for best bosses?
My honorable mentions for best bosses I like to face is Pinwheel because he's
very easy.
Because he's so easy.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's fine. And so my honorable mention for best bosses is Bed of Chaos. And I think that is a controversial choice because everyone kind of shits on Bed of Chaos all the time.
Yeah.
For being like unfinished or a bad idea. And
the real boss of Bed of Chaos
is falling
in the hole in the middle. It's not the limbs. It's not any of the shit it throws at you. It's falling in the middle of that hole in that deceptive gap.
It's a very deceptive gap. The way the branch comes out is it twists in a way that you can't see, and it's frustrating. And also, I do think a bit of randomness in the way the hands swat back and forth do make it difficult. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I think it's neat. I think that the fact that you've had all these bosses that are just fights after fights of banging your head against a wall against something that wants to kill you, and this one is a thinky boss, and it's like, no, smash the chain, smash the thing in the middle, good to go. I love that. Like, I think that's a great...
it's a reprieve.
Yeah, it is. And the only thing you have to worry about is getting randomly hit into a hole. And you know what?
You'll do that yourself.
That will happen. And it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's funny almost every time. I think that the Bed of Chaos is a joke that most people don't get. And you know what? A lot of people don't get jokes I like, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, and also... You didn't pump 20 humanity. Your run back sucks. I get that. If you come from the other direction, it's really not that bad. You just got to jump over that Titanite demon that I'm not going to kill. Eric will kill it.
I'll kill it.
I'm not going to kill it.
It's a pain in my ass.
I just jump past the Titanite demon.
You got to fight Kirk if you got humanity though.
You fight Kirk every time. It doesn't matter. It's not a hard fight. We should do another one of these with like invaders.
Invaders, yeah.
All right. So number one best boss. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Me go first?
I'll go first because mine's short.
Okay. Number one best boss.
Quelaag.
Easy
to cheese. Topless spider chick. Done.
How is she easy to cheese?
You can get in a little corner and you can just fire arrows right into her tits.
That's one of the most rude things I've ever heard you say.
The channel is called Filthy and Free Publishing.
The number one best boss in Dark Souls is the Gaping Dragon.
Okay. I can see that. That's a fun fight.
The Gaping Dragon... again, I wrote kind of like the fights in order of like what I look forward to seeing.
Sure.
And I look forward to the Gaping Dragon, I think, more than any other fight. It's silly. It has the little head that pops out, and then it's like, blah, blah, and that's fun. And it's hard. but if you know how to do it, it's not really hard
Can't
at
you
all.
also summon Solaire and Lothric to do
You
it
can
for
summon,
you?
yeah, you can summon multiple people for that fight. I never do because you don't need to, and when you do, it kind of makes the fight harder.
Yeah,
Because of the way that like summon scaling works.
yeah.
But and also it's not that hard a boss. Like get in front of it, it rears up, it charges, you just get around the bag,
Sure.
hit a couple of times,
Sure.
and just do it again. But it works so well. Are there any bosses we forgot that are worth mentioning?
Not that I'm willing to remember. At least not at this juncture.
Nobody mentioned Crossbreed Priscilla or
I
Sheath
didn't-
the Scareless.
I didn't fight Crossbreed.
No, I don't usually fight her
I left
either.
her alone.
Because you don't have to fight her, and she's like, "Oh, if you want to leave, you can just go behind me." And I'm
And
like,
Seath
"All right."
is only good for pissing me off. Because it's like, you fight him the first time, it's like, oh, I'm in a prison. Now I gotta get out of here. And now I gotta fight you again. And this is all your fault anyway. Fuck you, Seath.
It's one of the good times for one of those like rings of sacrifices where like right before you walk in, you're like, "All right, well, that was bullshit." So
Ooh, can we talk about Lothric and his lackeys?
You know, that's
fucking hate that
that's
fight.
the Seath the Scareless. You can turn around and like leave the boss room.
Really?
Yeah, but you can't like proceed in the game.
Huh.
You have to die there. But it's the only boss where like when you walk in, I guess because of the way that it has to kill you,
Yeah.
you can just like turn around and walk back out through the fog gate. And I did it a couple of times the last time I played through it.
Can you imagine what's going on through Seath's head?
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's like, what's this fucker doing? Because every time he starts to summon the spikes, and I just turn around and exit the fog gate and just wait a few minutes and then walk back in. And I'm like, what? Do something.
This really throws a wrench into all of my plans, Chosen Undead. Why did you do this?
All right. Well, thank everybody for listening to the Furtive Pygmy podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to the next episode coming soon. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends and light that bonfire for the next person coming by.